So did y'all know one of the Washington Commanders NFL draft picks from this past draft class was a former wide receiver? Yeah, Kane Madrano, the linebacker out of UCLA, used to play wide receiver, and Chip Kelly said, you would be better suited as a linebacker. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because he could be the person that replaces Bobby Wagner in a year or two. Kane Madrano is a very, very interesting story, and as I dove deeper into who he is as a player, I think the Washington Commanders got one. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody, man.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries, like...
Stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We on the Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Kane Madrano and the UCLA standout linebacker who is a former wide receiver turned linebacker, and how I think at some point he will blossom into another good defensive piece for the Washington Commanders. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so we greatly appreciate if you can reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So I know we have came to understand that every player the Washington Commanders draft, it's for a purpose, right? It's not somebody that we may know all the time. It may not be the biggest name. Like, for an example, Jalen Lane, the receiver out of V-Tech, right? We knew we wanted to upgrade the wide receiver position, but we didn't know a guy like Jalen Lane would have been who they were to look after, right? We know we wanted to add more to the running back room. We didn't think a guy like Ja'Cory Krosky-Murt would have been a guy, a.k.a. Bill, in the 7th round, right? But the more you dive deep into why they made these certain selections, it gives you an eye-opening, perspective. Ja'Cory Krosky-Murt is one of the better backs in this draft class. He did not play at all really last season due to eligibility rules, so he's kind of a hidden gem no one really knows about. Jalen Lane, one of the fastest receivers, if not the fastest receiver in this draft, has amazing deep ball tracking. Not only that, he has the ability to return kicks, something that we need. And with my guy that we're talking about today, Kane Madrano, he has the ability to be the next step up when it comes to this linebacking room. And for me, that is dangerous, okay? Because looking at this linebacker room as it is now, we got OG Bobby Wagner, who, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to age, right? He had one of his best seasons last year, and at the age of, 34, 35 years old, and he's obviously back. Got Frankie Luvu, who is one of the best players on this defense, one of the best players on this team, fan favorite. We love Frankie Luvu. And you got Jordan McGee. That's the reason why I say this linebacker room is dangerous, because Kane Madrano wasn't even the person that came to my mind until recently after hearing about him and doing my research. It was Jordan McGee, who I felt like prior to him being hurt, he missed a lot of time last year being hurt, but the minimum times that he played, and it wasn't freaking Mykal Walker, he had some valuable snaps and made some valuable plays out there in terms of having sideline to sideline speed, being able to chase around and running back off the backfield, being able to go blitz and attack the AB gap, go get the quarterback, go, assist the defensive line when stopping the run, and obviously being able to check tight ends. Jordan McGee has that sideline to sideline speed that a lot of linebackers in this room and around the league really lack. And that's something that you probably ask all the fans out there. They always said for years upon years that Washington Commanders has always had slow linebackers. I mean, even going back to my guy Mason Foster, we've always complained about how Washington's linebacker room is not fast. And we love Bobby Wagner, but clearly Bobby Wagner's past his prime in terms of speed, so he lost his step athletically, so he can't necessarily be what he was. Same Same with a John Bostic. Mentally, John Bostic used to be there and was able to put guys in the right spot, but physically couldn't do it. Kevin Pierre-Louis, same thing. Now you got two guys that may not necessarily blossom this year in terms of Kane Medrano being a rookie. He may carve out a role for him on special teams, of course, and that's how he always gets his start. He can turn into a special teams fiend. That's going to at least keep him around for the next 4 seasons. That doesn't mean it has to be his ceiling, but his ceiling is Frankie Luvu, Bobby Wagner, next up, right? Like in terms of athletic ability, in terms of feistiness, being able to be like a hard hitter, being able to cover. That's the biggest thing for me. In this generation, I can care less if you're a hard-hitting linebacker because, I mean, you're going to get flagged 9 times out of 10 either way. Like, just look at Frankie Luvu. They try to paint my man as such a bad, dirty player so much, bro. He just played ball, and he's just a hard hitter, physical specimen. You can't really be physical in this day and age. So what I care about is your sideline speaking. You get north to south. Can you get east to west? Like, what can you do for me in terms of the pass coverage in game? What can you do to me? Can you beat that running back to his spot? And Kane Medrano can do that. As, again, I said, he had the fastest, 40 time of all the linebackers, I believe. So, Chip Kelly looked at him and said, yeah, you're not a receiver, buddy. Let's try a linebacker. So, not only are you getting a guy that has a receiver background in terms of athletic ability, but maybe he knows how to catch a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he can come in and get some interceptions. But, obviously, this is future planning, right? This is why you draft guys in 5th, 6th, 7th rounds. You don't necessarily have them to come in day one and expect them to be a day one starter. Would that be cool? Of course, but he doesn't have to. He's behind Bobby Wagner, behind Frankie Luvu, behind Joey McGee. And he can instantly learn. He instantly has a connection with his coaching staff, as Ken Norton was his former coach at UCLA. Adam Peters, another former Bruin. And AP trusted Ken Norton. Because, to remind you, on draft day, when they drafted him, Kane Medrano texted Ken Norton, said, come get me. And when AP called him, he said, hey, young Bruin. It's an old Bruin hit. You know, so not only is this pick good for the future in terms of the linebacker room, because I think we're in good hands with Joel McGee. Oh, my God, can you imagine? Because Frankie Lou was, only 28, 29, maybe 27, right? Imagine the next 2 years. Bobby Wagner retires, whatever. We go out on the hours. Let's say he wins a Super Bowl. He retires like the next year or two. The linebacking core can consist of Frankie Luvu, Jordan McGee, and Kane Medrano. And not to mention whoever we may else bring in free agency or in the draft, something in the future. But we could have 3 outstanding linebackers. One that can do it all, and Frankie Luvu in terms of rushing the passer, physical specimen, can cover, can get out to the quarterback, as we already mentioned, can be a menace in the run game. And then you can have 2 guys that are just athletic freaks. Don't forget, last year when we drafted Jordan McGee, his player comp was Dre Greenlaw. And we know how good Dre Greenlaw was prior to injury. Now, we'll see how he is after this injury, coming back off of the injury this upcoming season. But prior to the injury, getting compared to Dre Greenlaw, come on. We not going to act like Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, and those guys wasn't wreaking havoc in San Francisco, bro. So being your player comp as Dre Greenlaw, come on. Hey, man, that's all I'm going to say, though. The linebacking core is in good hands. A former wide receiver is now a potential steal, I should say, or a potential stud. I'm not going to say steal because I feel like we always say, oh, this guy's a steal, this guy's a steal. Nah, it ain't necessary. Everybody don't got to be a steal. So I'm going to take that back. Everybody don't got to be a steal. Some teams just probably didn't want them, or some teams didn't probably do their homework on them, and we got them. So I'm not going to say steal, but I'm going to say potential stud, as we got a former wide receiver turned linebacker, the next guy up. Kane Medrano, keep an eye out for him this summer. And again, don't expect him to necessarily make an immediate impact on defense, right? Of course, guys like they're in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, they try to make the roster due to special teams. So look out for him on special teams this upcoming summer in training camp, mini camps, preseason. You see 56? He's 56, right? I believe so. He's 56 in college, so I would assume he's somewhere around that number range. You look out for Kane Medrano this offseason and this preseason, and we could definitely be in good hands. Like Allstate, we could be in good hands with Cam Medrano, Joe McGee, and Frankie Luvu for the future. And obviously, B-Wag's still been there. I'm not quick to write off B-Wags neither, man. I know it's a year-by-year thing with him. But I say Bobby at least got 2 more years in him. But if we win the Super Bowl this year, I could definitely see Bobby Wagner hanging up. But I'm going to get up out of here. Let me know what you guys think about it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's me, boy, Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I want to roll to 10,000 subscribers, man. Share out the channel. Help me grow. Help me get to the goal of 10K, because this is our reward, not just mine. And without you, I'm nothing. So share it out to all Washington Commanders fans that may be fans of the team, bro. All right. Thank you so much. Have a blessed, stay safe, be easy out there. Peace.
Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a lawn.